Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Alex and today I'm going to be going over my road trip essentials. So my family really likes to take road trips. We've been taking road trips down to Maine every single year, and I've learned with time that you really got to be well prepared when you're packing for a road trip, because if you don't have snacks to feed the kids, if you don't have something to entertain the family, then the car ride can become quite unbearable. So I'm just going to be sharing that list with you today, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what I pack in my car when I'm about to take a road trip. So the first thing you want to have when taking a road trip is roadside assistance. CAA and AAA are really great. So if ever you're stuck in a bind or your car breaks down, you can call the number and you're always going to get service 24/7. The next thing I recommend packing is an emergency kit. I usually always keep one in the car just in case, but if you don't already have one, make sure you take one on your road trip. Now in this little emergency kit, I do have a first aid kit. This is great in case somebody does get hurt. You have the items that you're going to need to tend to any wounds or injuries that might occur. Another thing I always pack in my emergency kit are emergency blankets. These are really great. If the car breaks down and it's really cold, you can just wrap yourself with one of these blankets. In case somebody gets hypothermia, these are also great. I also carry a whole bunch of rain ponchos. If it's raining, you can just throw these on and it'll keep you dry in a pinch. And the last thing in my emergency kit is a little headlamp like this. This is basically a flashlight that sits on your forehead so that you can keep your hands free to do any repairs or to pick up anything that you need to pick up. Another thing I always like to pack in the car is a collapsible umbrella for rainy days or sudden rain showers. The next thing I like to bring is a camping towel. These are just so practical to keep in the car. In case you decide to stop on the side of the road and there's a beach or a lake and the kids want to wet their feet or go swimming, at least you'll have a towel on hand to dry yourself off with. And camping towels are great because they're made out of microfiber, so they're super lightweight, they're super thin, and they dry really quickly. And you can also use this as a little blanket. Another thing I always like to travel with is a dry bag. I just leave this in the car. That way if something gets wet or soiled, I can put this in the dry bag and it doesn't wet the rest of the stuff in the car. So super practical to have. And if you do end up stopping at a beach or something and something is really sandy or wet, you can throw it into your dry bag without having sand all over your car. Even though a lot of cars do have GPS systems now, I always also like to carry something to hold up my phone in case I want to use Waze. So I found this little adapter that you can just put onto the vent of the car, and this basically holds your phone up. Another thing that I use pretty often is this suction cup from Ram. Now this is a separate piece, and I did buy the phone adapter that holds my phone into place. What I like about this is that it's really solid. This suction cups onto the windshield and you have no worries that this is gonna fall off. Another thing that I invested in when I started taking a lot of road trips are these backseat adapters. These are really cool because you just put this over the headrest of your back seat, and it has a little window here so you can slip in an iPad or a phone in here and watch your movies really easily. It also has a ton of pockets, so you can put your water bottles in here, your granola bars, any kind of wires that you want to store. So it's extra storage for your car that doesn't take up any space. So of course, entertainment is really important. You definitely want something to entertain yourself and to entertain your kids during that road trip. So I highly suggest bringing an iPad and getting a streaming service. That way you can download some movies or shows to keep them entertained during the trip. Another thing my kids really love to travel with is their Nintendo Switch Lite. This is great. If you have some kind of portable game console, definitely bring it on the trip. This is hours of entertainment. Definitely a good investment if your kid really loves video games. Another thing you could look into are some activity books or coloring books like this. I highly recommend them. Every time I take a road trip, I usually order some new ones for my kids to enjoy. Doodle books like this too are super popular. You can get a whole bunch with different themes. One of our favorite are sticker books. Sticker books have always been popular with my kids, and they make a whole bunch. My kids are really into Star Wars, so I have one here that's Star Wars themed, but like I said, you can pick anything that your child likes. Another thing I always like to buy when I'm going on a road trip is a graphic novel. My kids really love to read, but I find when you have pictures to accompany the reading, they seem to be even more interested. So I usually buy a couple of graphic novels for each one of them before a road trip, and that seems to entertain them quite a bit. Another thing I like to do is make a playlist for the car, and I usually get the kids involved. I ask them which songs they want to listen to during the car ride, so I have them already downloaded into the phone. I always bring this little tech holder. This is great because you can store all your wires and all your charging blocks. That way, if anybody needs to charge their phones or their electronics, everything's in one place and easy to access during the trip. Another thing I always bring are power banks. These are great to charge your phone on the go. I really love this one from the company Ampere. This is called the Jetpack. And what's cool about this one is if you have MagSafe on your phone, this one is magnetic, so you can charge your phone while using it, which is really practical when you're on the go. And it has a really strong magnet, so as you can see, the magnet doesn't fall off. Now, I know Apple makes a very similar product, but Ampere's version is just as good, and honestly, it's a lot more affordable. So I'll put the link to this product in the description box down below if you are looking to get a magnetic power bank like this. Next on my list is a cooler. You definitely want to bring a cooler if you are going to be taking a lot of food with you on your road trip. But sometimes with all the suitcases we don't really have room for a cooler. And another option is to bring a collapsible cooler like this. It's basically a foldable cooler, so you can fill this with ice and bring all your drinks and your food in here, but once you're done with it, it collapses down flat and can be thrown into the trunk of the car. Now, a good trick to keeping your cooler cold is to freeze a whole bunch of water bottles like this instead of packing it with ice. This basically is going to prevent it getting all wet in there and preventing leaks, and as this unfreezes, it'll give you fresh cold water throughout your road trip. I also always bring a full bottle of water for each one of the passengers in the car, and that way I could just keep refilling these as the road trip continues. Another thing I keep in my cooler is little paper plates, some napkins, and some reusable utensils. That way, if we stop to have a picnic, I have everything on hand that I need to enjoy the food in my cooler. Another thing I always keep in the glove compartment box are these antibacterial wipes. These are great for any sticky messes. They're also great to disinfect your hands before eating. And I also keep some of these stain removers in the car. So these are great if somebody spills something on their shirt. They can use one of these detergent-filled wipes to wipe away the stain instantly. Another thing I also keep in the glove compartment box is a bottle of sunscreen. If we stop on the side of the road to do an activity, we have this easily accessible to us during the car ride. Another trick that I use when taking a road trip is I always bring one of these Tupperware cereal containers. They're super slim, so they fit in between the seats. You can use this as a garbage can. It's really great because it opens up, so you can throw your Kleenex, your wipes, or your apple cores in here and seal it up, and that way it keeps the smell at bay. If you don't have a cereal box container like this, you can also just bring a Tupperware. It works just as well, and it will keep all your garbage in one place in the car. One thing I always bring on my road trip is this little travel blanket. This one is called the layover blanket. What's cool about this one is that it's waterproof, it's machine washable, and lightweight, which makes it perfect for traveling with. Another great thing about this blanket is that it has pockets for your feet at the bottom so that it keeps your legs warm during that car ride. But what's cool is that it comes with snaps all around the blanket. So if you have a second blanket like this, you can snap these together and make a larger queen-sized blanket. Another thing I like to do is that I like to clip it on the back of my shoulders like this so that it keeps me nice and warm. And it has this little fleece lined pocket where you can slip in your hands to keep your hands warm when you're sleeping. It also has a zipper here in the front pocket, so you can put your phone in here if you want easy access. And another cool feature is that you can turn this blanket into a pillow. So by using this pocket, you just have to reverse it and stuff the pocket with the blanket. And there you go, you have a little fleece pillow so that you can sleep on it during the car ride. So this is a really versatile little blanket. I highly recommend it, especially if you're somebody who travels a lot like myself. It's great for a road trip. It's also great if you're traveling by plane. I'll put the link in the description box down below if you're looking to buy one. Another thing that I purchased a few years ago and that I'm so happy I did was this foldable picnic blanket. What's fun about this is it folds into like this burrito shape, but it's a huge blanket. So there's a Velcro here at the top, and inside it has like a nice silky material, but the underneath is actually waterproof, which is really great because if the ground's a little bit wet, you can sit or lie down on this without worrying that it will wet your backside. I usually throw this into the car along with the suitcases so that I always have this on hand if needed. Another thing you're gonna wanna bring on a road trip are sunglasses. Now, when I travel, I never like to bring my expensive pairs of sunglasses because I always seem to lose them or break them along the way. This is from the company WowSun. I think these are $10 or $15 each, and they come with a really cute little carrying case, and they also come with a cleaning cloth and a little screw in case one of the screws falls out. I also got my husband a cheap pair. This one is from the company Wood Only. What's cool about these ones is that they're really manly and they have a real wood on the side of the glasses, and I think they're pretty cool looking. All right guys, so that's pretty much everything I like to bring on my road trip. Let me know in the comments below if you like to pack something that I haven't mentioned in this video. And if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thanks for watching guys. Happy travels. Ba-dum, bum,